Maybe, but isn't this going to result in higher prices for consumers? I mean, let's talk about the impact on the economy and on people, because one of the beauties of having this cheap stuff coming from China is it ends up being real affordable for American consumers. How significant will we see prices go up?
Well, I think that's a false narrative in a lot of ways. What's going to happen here is modest, minimal kinds of price effects, if at all. What we've seen, for example, with the solar and washing machine tariffs is not rising prices. What we've seen is a flood of new investment into this country, creating American jobs. And remember, since China joined the World Trade Organization in 2001, their economy has grown from $1 trillion to $12 trillion. That's an 800% growth rate. It's phenomenal, but it's been on the backs of the American people, the American workers. We went through 15 years of stagnant wages, slow growth, and now we have a president, and President Trump, who has, during the first year in office, had the most remarkable year of the economy of any president in any recent memory, going back a very long time.
Right.
So I see nothing but bullish signs on the horizon. I see higher wages, strong economic growth, and this kind of policy, Maria, is absolutely fundamental to our future.
Actually,
we should make no mistake about that.
We should point out that the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jay Powell, was asked about it yesterday, and he, too, is not expecting an impact on the economy. Listen to this.
A number of participants in this FOMC did bring up the issue of tariffs, and if I could summarize what came out of that, it was first that there's no thought, I think, that changes in trade policy should have any effect on the current outlook. Second thing is, I would say, is that a number of participants reported in about their conversations with business leaders around the country, and reported that trade policy has become a concern going forward.
All right, so that was a good comment in terms of no impact on the economy. Peter, we got to get your take, though, on the aluminum and steel tariffs as well. They're going to go into effect, what, Friday? How many exemptions will we see? Will Europe be exempt?
So there'll be an announcement this afternoon. I don't want to, again, preempt Ambassador Lighthizer, Secretary Ross, or the President. Let me just say this. The proposal that's going to come out today in terms of implementation will have absolutely strong support for the goal of protecting our aluminum and steel industries from this flood of imports. So we're going to have a system.
People are worried about a 25% tariff retaliation from Europe. That's the issue here, Peter.
Well, again, Maria, this kind of talk, I think, doesn't serve anybody. If you look at the chessboard, okay, let's take Europe. They run $150 billion a year surplus in manufactured goods with this country. At 6,000 jobs we lose for every $1 billion of deficit that we create with Europe. That's over 1 million jobs that are created over in Europe, Belgium, Germany, wherever, instead of right here in America. Now, if they want to jeopardize that, that wouldn't be a rational act. So we can expect some chest thumping, I would assume, for politics. But at the end of the day, and President Trump has said this repeatedly, every country in the world's ripping us off with these high trade surpluses. All we want, Maria, is fair and reciprocal trade, and I think the American people deserve that, and they finally have a president who's going to give that to them.
Yeah, real quick before you go, Peter, I know you were there in the room when the president was talking with the Crown Prince in Saudi, from Saudi yesterday. Big deal in terms of arms sales that the U.S. is selling to the Saudis.
Yeah, that was a great day, and I love watching the president interact with world leaders. He's just so smart, and the friendship between the Crown Prince and the president is just so visible. But at the end of the day, that Saudi deal is over 40,000 jobs in America, and they're high-paying, good manufacturing jobs. And guess what? When Saudi Arabia buys a weapons system to defend themselves, that means fewer soldiers of America in harm's way. It means more jobs in America. And it means we strengthen our defense industrial base, which was what I do at the White House every day, trying to make that happen.
Peter, good to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
Take care, Maria.
Peter Navarro.